Hi, and welcome back to Wear Your Crown. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Crystal, and I'm a homeschooling mama to two boys, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. And today we're going to talk about a Bible curriculum that is most widely used within a Sunday school church setting, but it is available for homeschool families, and that is the Awana's program. And today we're going to specifically be looking at the Toddler program, which I used with my boys. They were 2 and my oldest was still 4, but they both enjoyed it, and that is called Puggles. So let's get started. If you are new here, welcome. Most of you are new, but for those subscribers that keep growing each day, I am so grateful for you. And this is a viewer requested video to take a deeper look at the Awana Puggles program. Before I get started, if you could please subscribe, I would absolutely love it. If you like this type of video, please give me a thumbs up. My background is a little different. It's a little more kid-friendly because I was asked to read a couple chapters in a video for the school I work for. So I thought it would be cute to have this little fun, appealing background for the kiddos to look at. But I kind of like it too. I don't know if I'll switch back to my other one, but we'll see. The Awana's Puggles program. I'm going to make a video soon about the process that I use in choosing the curriculum that I want to use with my boys. But I knew even before we started officially homeschooling that I wanted something for Bible. I'm going to make a video about how I choose curriculum for my children, and we weren't officially homeschooling yet. I was kind of dabbling with preschool type things with my oldest, but I knew I wanted something for Bible. And like I was saying, we read, my dog's barking, he barks at the wind, so sorry if you can hear that. We have so many children's Bibles that the boys have been blessed to receive for gifts for different occasions, but we've read through almost all of them. And while I love doing that, I wanted to expound upon that a little bit more instead of just reading the stories, which is number one priority. But I wanted them to have a deeper understanding of what these stories actually meant, that these were real, that it's history, and that they can make connections to it. It got me intrigued that I mentioned in my other video when I talked about preschool curriculum, which I can link above, is that with the Awana Club's program, I had never even heard of it because even though I grew up a Christian, we weren't part of a steady church environment. I never really went to Sunday school, so I wasn't exposed to this. And in saying that, I have really started loving Help Club for Moms, which I'll link their YouTube channel down below, but they have wonderful Bible studies for women, and I've just gotten so much wisdom from Deb Weekly, who is their founder, and they have a Facebook, they do YouTube videos, they have a podcast, and then they have the Bible studies that you can purchase from their website or on Amazon. But Deb does these Monday mentor videos, which also become the podcasts. And she was talking about how important it is to teach our children to love reading the Bible and just to give them that exposure to the Bible. And she mentioned, if you didn't know where to start, that you could get an Awana, like an Awana's workbook for kids. And I was like, what is that? So I looked it up and I just totally fell in love with how adorable it is. So I'm going to show you just a few things really quick, and then I'll do a flip through of the items that I purchased. Now, keep in mind, this is a program that is specifically geared towards Sunday school. They're big on, they do Vacation Bible School, I believe. I could have that wrong. But they have Puggles is for toddlers, so 2 to 3-year-olds. And then for 3 to 4-year-olds, they have their kind of like their pre-K program, and it's Cubbies. And they have 2 years, which are basically the same, but so the student isn't getting the exact same lessons 2 years in a row. They vary it, and you can just flip-flop them. One is Cubbies Honeycomb, and one is Cubbies Appleseed. I did find a little bit of confusion for myself when I was on their website trying to determine what was for what age group, but I figured it out. Now, they do offer a lot of products that you can purchase. Instead of buying it in like a 5-pack or a 10-pack, you can buy them in single versions, which is amazing. And if you create an account, it will just have you as like a household account instead of a school or a church account. So they do make it accessible for homeschooling families. So the first thing that I knew that I wanted to purchase before getting any of the other fun things that went with it is I knew I wanted the teaching plans. And the Puggles focuses on 4 big truths. So this is titled Puggles Big Truths for Kids to Know. And the teaching plans are really great because they don't just tell you what to teach, what to say, what to do. They have a section for the leader. Now remember, this isn't geared towards a homeschooling family. This teaching lesson plan is actually for a Sunday school teacher. So when you open it up, it tells you preparing to teach. It gives you a background, what you're going to be reading. They tell you Bible scripture to read so that you have that knowledge and are prepared. And then they go into the items that you'll need, the goals of the lesson, what you want the children to take away from this. And then they give you sample schedules, which is fantastic for Sunday school teachers. Wasn't really necessary for me. There are so many great ideas in this lesson plan book. As a teacher, I love lesson plans. And if I don't have to make up all the lesson plans, that's phenomenal. I love to have teaching plans as a guideline to kind of guide me in the way I should go, but then I like to add in my own stuff. They tell you like coming in time and free play, song time, verse time, lesson, snack, craft, game, going home, and they include ideas for all of those things. Now the songs, I absolutely love the songs, and they turned us on to Yancey with a Y, not Nancy, and that's actually the name of her YouTube channel, which I'll link down below. They have the cutest music videos, and she has these wonderful, amazing songs, and my boys fell in love with them. So I would just cast YouTube up onto my TV and play the couple of songs. And you guys, the funny part, and maybe this is embarrassing and I don't have it with me, I actually purchased the Puggles CD. I didn't even use it while I was teaching Puggles. I just found the Yancey songs on YouTube and that's what I used, and they loved watching the videos. We ended up just using that CD to listen to in the van when we were driving around town. So the song or the CD is not necessary. Now, the one thing that the CD does have that you may be interested in is each big verse or each big truth has a big verse that accompanies it. Now, my kids memorized it within like a day, and I'm pretty sure the verse is the same for the entire big truth. So you basically spend 8 weeks on the same verse, and they condense it, which is fine, and then there's motions to go with it. But on the Puggles theme CD, they have the verse that goes with each big truth that is in song form, which is really cute. But you can actually find some of those on YouTube of just other like Sunday school leaders singing it to share with others. And the Puggles theme song, that's on YouTube. I can link that down below as well. And I would play that first, and then I would go into the Yancey songs. So they wanted to do those songs every single day. They loved them that much. And honestly, I like them. We listen to them all the time. Then you're introducing the lesson. So here they have a card that you can show, and they kind of remind me of the big cards that you can purchase, like the visuals with Abeka. They're nice size big cards. I'll pop a picture in. I did not purchase them, but it basically is like a visual that you can look at and has all the great, wonderful information on the back to read. And I just felt like it wasn't necessary for me with my boys. And honestly, I would just show them the picture in black and white. Or what I would do I purchased these board books, and I would pull up a picture to go with that big truth. Like it says, God made the fish and the birds. So I would go to the big truth board book that coincided with it and go to the one where he made the birds and the fish, and that sufficed for them. So, and then there's the Bible story, and they have what you can read here, or you can read it from an actual children's Bible, a real Bible, whatever you choose. And there's little, like, sometimes they do finger motions with the lessons. And then there's a hands-on experience. And the nice thing is, because this is like a lesson plan format, they give you time frames how long each of these things should take. So the hands-on experience should only take 5 to 7 minutes. It's usually like an activity. So like this one, let's see what we have on the floor. And I love this too because everything that you say is bolded. And then there's a questions to ask section, and it tells you the answers. And then at the end, there is a prayer. So that is not even everything. So if you continue, they have additional Puggles activities. There's a craft time. It tells you exactly what you're making. If you need to prepare anything ahead of time, it lets you know what supplies you need. And then the directions. There's a game time, happy fish, free fish. Some of the games I noticed are definitely for more than one child. So if you have an only child or if you only have 2 kids, it might be a little more tricky. And honestly, I didn't do all of the games because of that. Or some of them were just a little too simple for my boys. So I would usually skip that. Then they also have center time, which I really love that. And those are usually sensory bin types of things. And honestly, this I feel like could almost be your spine for a preschool curriculum. Like you could use this lesson about God making the birds and the fish. Like if fish were your focus, teach the letter F with this. And then inside the teaching plan, it comes with craft pages. And then it has going home, you know, say goodbye to the kids, all those things. And then I love the ones that they included because it does say, I learned that God made the fish and the birds this week. Point out any birds you see outside. So this is what the kids would take home with them so that their parents would know what lesson that they learned in Sunday school. And then it kind of gives the parents like, hey, this is what you can work on at home, something simple that it will help the kids to really reinforce what they learned in church. So I really loved that. Now, the one caveat I will say to the website is they don't really give you a whole lot of sneak peeks to the items. And that, I mean, they do have like a look inside, but it wasn't enough for me to really fully know what I was getting. So maybe I just didn't look deep enough. I don't know. But I didn't know that it came with these pages already in the manual. So because of that, I purchased the Puggles, my coloring and activity book. And I don't think this was very much, but it has the 4 big truths and it has like welcome to Puggles. And the nice thing about this is it tells you exactly what lesson, and these coincide with the lessons in the teaching plans. But the nice thing is, if you purchase this, these are not the same coloring pages and activity sheets that are in the teaching plan. They are different. So this is nice because I don't have a copier or a printer or anything like that. I would usually let one of my boys color one side and the other color the other, because we would try to do like, honestly, I was doing one lesson a week and then it was just moving so slow. I mean, 8 weeks is a long time, but remember my boys, I was focusing on it with my oldest son and he was 4. And this is geared towards 2-year-olds, and my 2-year-old absolutely did love it. But he loses interest with coloring. They didn't even finish coloring this, so I just leave it out if they want to color it just as a coloring book now in our home. But yeah, so I liked having this for not having a copier and printer because I didn't want them to use the ones in the teaching plan book because I want to be able to resell this eventually. But I loved that they were different. So if I wanted to copy this and for them to use that, it was a little bit of a difference and it changed. So it wasn't exactly the same. I decided to go with it as a supplement were the board books of the Big Truths. And I just thought this would help reinforce it even more. I don't remember the price. I'll try to include links to all of these products, what I chose, what I purchased. And my boys really liked these, especially my 2-year-old. Actually, my 4-year-old, he was 4. They were 2 and 4 when I was doing it, but my oldest has since turned 5. So that's why I keep saying 4-year-old. But they are really beautiful pictures. And like I said, they're just really good quality board books. I mean, the pictures are beautiful. They're true. Like they're real photographs. They're not cartoons, which I like. And I love that on the back, they kind of let you know, like, hey, here's the truth. And each of the characters, I forget their names right now, but there's the little girl and then the kangaroo, the koala, and then Puggles. He's a baby platypus. So those are really cute. The other thing that I purchased, and now looking back, I'm like, I didn't need it, is the Puggles entrance booklet. And it actually, I had to get this in a 10-pack. So I literally have 10 of these. And my boys read it once, and that was it. And honestly, you don't need this. It's big truths for kids to know. This is like when your kid comes to their first Puggles lesson in Sunday school, they each get one of these and get to take it home. And it's kind of an overview of what the program is, what each of the truths are, what their memory verse is going to be. And honestly, it's a wonderful resource. If my kids were in the Puggles program in a Sunday school setting at church and I got one of these, I would love it because it would tell you exactly what they should be memorizing and what they're learning about. And you could do more things at home when they bring those activity sheets that has those ideas. It would be nice, but as a homeschooling parent, this was just not necessary at all. Now, the other purchase I made, which I already showed this in my preschool curriculum, but I could not resist, and that is the Puggles plushie. I just thought it was so adorable, and my boys loved this. I would bring this out when it was time to do our lesson. Generally, we would start during breakfast. I would let Puggles sit there on the table while the boys ate their breakfast. Excuse me. And then we would go into our playroom, and that's when we do the songs. And they would be both, usually I would give them like, it's his day or it's your day, so they weren't fighting over him. It's really adorable. I will say the stitching has started to come out a little bit here. And my boys are not really rough with stuffed animals. They did the typical, like they would hug it and squeeze it. And if that's all it's taking for it to start losing its stitching, that kind of upsets me. But otherwise, I thought it was great quality. And the other thing, which I since cut it off, but you can kind of see the string to his beak started coming out as well. I just snipped it off and it's been fine. It hasn't actually busted open yet. I think this was like $12 or $13, which I felt like was a little expensive, but maybe it's not. I mean, it's pretty small. It's like the size of my hand. But my boys love this. And honestly, I feel like this got them excited for their Bible lesson because it was like, oh, it's Puggles time. We started with this and the music and dancing. And then we do our memory verse together. And then we read the Bible story. And it was just really, really cute. You do not have to do their activities. And honestly, most of the time we didn't. I just tried to find things that I knew I had around the house. So the first big truth is that God made everything. So it goes through the days of creation. So I actually went on Pinterest and looked for like simple creation crafts for preschoolers. And my then 4-year-old did these with me, and I prepped a lot of it. But he loved these, and they're a keepsake, and I love them, and I'm really hot, so they're perfect for fans. I'm just kidding. But we made these, and we put they're just color popsicle sticks, and I have craft paper, construction paper, glue, scissors. There were a couple other things. I had stickers on some, feathers, cotton balls, and glitter. But so this is a great idea for creation. So day 1, the light and the dark. Day 2, the heavens and the seas, which we did. He colored, I did the waves. He wanted me to do that, but he added the cotton ball, and then there's some glitter on the water there. Day 3 was the plants. We were kind of, we needed some better stickers, and that's all we had. Day 4, the sun on the one side and the moon and the stars. Day 5, the birds. Birds on the top. We have an eyeball fell off, and the fish. Oh, his eyes are missing too. So the bird faced that way and the fish faced that way. I was proud of this one. I came up with that. And then day 6, he made the animals, and then that little drawing. That's his person. I thought that was so cute. And then day 7, I did some Z's and then showed him, because I said Z's, the letter Z represents the sound of people snoring. So we were talking about God rested, and when we rest, we sleep. Anyway, so we just pulled in our own things with each. Sometimes I use the games, sometimes I use the sensory bin ideas, but honestly, a lot of times it was just too much. So I would break it down into a couple days. I would do the memory verse every day. Generally, I would do 3 days. Music and memory verse every single day. And then the Bible reading we would do every single day. And I would try to just read the overview in the teacher plan the first day. And then the second day, I would read it from one of our children's Bibles that was more simple, a younger children's Bible. And then the third day, I would do it in our children's Bible that was a little bit more in depth, so that my younger son could grasp it, but then my older son was getting a little bit more meat to the story. And then if I did an activity, I would usually do it on day 2, and then the coloring page, just kind of wrap it up on day 3. And that's kind of what I did. Now, eventually, it just started, I don't know if it was just our frame of mind, my frame of mind doing it. It just started getting a little bit monotonous. And I don't know why. I guess because I felt like I wasn't doing all the activities with it, which was fine. I was just using it to teach the lesson. But then I felt like I spent all this money. I feel like I could have just purchased this, teach the big truths, not even got the teacher guide, and been fine. Found the Bible readings that would go with each of these pages. And honestly, that would have saved me so much money because the big truth topics are right there. You know, like God made everything that grows. I would know, oh, well, that's the part of Genesis I would need to read. So I feel like if you want to purchase this program for your child or your children, it is so adorable. My boys absolutely loved it. I recommend it. But do you need the teacher plan? Not necessarily, unless you want all of those ideas ready and raring to go for you. But you do still have to do a lot of prep work as far as collecting the materials, getting the sensory bins made, getting the art supplies, making the copies of the pictures if you don't get this. So there is some prep to it. But I absolutely think you could just have this in a children's Bible and be good to go. Okay, guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. Please give me a thumbs up and let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to review or look into further, or if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, friends, to always wear your crown.